Rejoice, everyone. We're back with another Sekhie Reacts to Fate.
If I could have fit a conspiracy board in here behind me, I did not have the red yarn for it.
We're doing Yoro Dono this week, people.
Otherwise known as Chacha.
Yes. Fate fans will know her as Chacha.
Okay. I feel like... So here's the thing, right? It's been a while since I knew that we had to record this. And it's been a while since our last recording because we were setting up the new office, recording space. The shrine has grown by two notable figures. Obviously the...
Three. Well, not in the shrine, but you've had three notable figures. Two of which are the same person in a different outfit.
True. Anyways, the shrine has grown. Shit was being moved around. So it took us a little while to get situated. So I've been sitting on this episode for a while. And that's fair. But because of that, I have gone perhaps deeper than necessary. To the point where one of my friends called me and they were like, hey, I need you to just tell me a story, any story. And I was like, okay. During the Sengoku Jidai period, there was this woman, Oichi, and she had three daughters, Ohatsu, Oyedo, and Yorodono. And my friend hung up on me eventually.
Let me put this into perspective. I went into this episode thinking I was going to be the one that had to give the history lesson this time.
I am prepared. I would have been more prepared, but so at first I was like, I could just read all this stuff, research it. I'm not going to need to write it down. No, I needed to write it down. Specifically, I needed to write down the family tree because, oh my fucking god, this fucking family tree. So we're talking about Yorodono, right? Who is the oldest of three sisters, right? So let's start with her parents. Yorodono is the daughter of Oichi and Azai Nagamasa. Now, Oichi is the sister of Oda Nobunaga, and Azai Nagamasa betrayed him, and he reclaimed Oichi and her daughters, and then she was married to someone else and then died, right? But then there were the three daughters. So we're going to go with Yorodono's going to get last. I'll cover the other ones first, but... So let's start with Ohatsu. So Ohatsu was the middle daughter, and she married Kyogoku Takatsugu, and she was actually sterile, so she adopted Hatsuhime, one of Oyeo's daughters, who then married Kyogoku's son by one of his other wives, Kyogoku Tadakata, and, obviously they go down the Kyogoku line, right? So then there was the youngest sister, Oryou, and for all intents and purposes, I want to be very clear here. Oryou was actually the most historically impactful of all three sisters, right? So she had three marriages. The first to Saji Kazunari, which didn't really, no kids out of there, didn't really last long. Then she was married to Toyotomi Hidekatsu, right? And she had a daughter, Toyotomi Sadako, who married to Kujo Yukie, and was adopted by her last husband, who was Tokugawa Hidetada. Now, this daughter with Kujo Yukie, that line eventually marries, the daughter of that line eventually marries Emperor Kome, thus marrying into the imperial family of Japan. Now, her last husband was, you all may know this name, but Tokugawa Hidetada. Now, Tokugawa Hidetada was the second shogun of the Tokugawa line. And through Hidetada, she had many children. Iemitsu, the third shogun, as well, and Iemitsu's line goes through the 4th, 5th, and 6th shoguns directly. She also had Tokugawa Tadanaga, we don't know much about him, and then Tokugawa Masako was one of her daughters, who married Emperor Go Mizuno, becoming Empress Meishu, right? Or Meisho. So, both... this sister, her daughters' lines both marry into the imperial family. And then she has four other daughters. Hatsuhime, who was adopted by Ohatsu and married Kyogoku. And then there was Tamahime, who married a Maeda Toshitsune. And if you follow their line of descendancy, it leads to a couple really notable generals during World War II. Senhime, who we don't know much about other than she married Toyotomi Hideyori, which was probably not a great, decision / outcome. She later became a Buddhist nun, I believe, as his widow, because obviously he did not survive the uprisings, I don't think. And then the final daughter is Katsuhime, who married Matsudaira Tadano, and if you follow that direct line of descendancy, it takes you to the entire current imperial family of Japan. Like, directly to the current imperial family of Japan. So, 3 of her children married into the imperial family line at different fucking times. 1 in her lifetime, 1 a few generations later, and 1, beyond that.
Like all good families, it comes full circle.
So, then we actually get to the person that we're talking about in this video, which is Yododono, right? Also known as Chacha and Yodogimi. So, she was married to Toyotomi Hideyoshi. Hideyori was her son, right? So, yep, there's Hideyoshi. And Hideyoshi and Tokugawa... Who's the first one? Ieyasu. The 2 of them and Oda Nobunaga are really what defines the Sengoku Jidai, right?
By the way, we will be covering Hideyoshi a little bit here. If he ever gets put into FGO, we will cover him more. But
yeah. So they basically define the Sengoku Jidai. You've got Nobunaga, and then Toyotomi, and then Tokugawa reigns supreme, bringing in the Tokugawa era, which would last until the late 1800s, right? Late 1800s. Right, and then the transition of power goes back to the emperor with Meiji, right? So that's obviously important. But so Yododono marries Hideyoshi, and essentially throughout the Sengoku Jidai, Ohatsu, Yododono, and Oryou work together to kind of represent diplomatic matters between the Toyotomi and Tokugawa families, trying to kind of keep everything peaceful. However, in the end, that doesn't really help because Yododono's like, I'm not gonna fucking bow and I'm gonna support my son's claim to power, which was maybe not the winning bet to make. However, in the words of our mysterious off-screen voice, Yododono has survived 3 sieges, which is not many, but it's 2 more than most people survive.
Failed sieges.
Yeah.
Or failed defensive lines.
3 failed defensive lines, which is 2 more than most people survive. She does die in, I believe, 1615 at the siege of Osaka.
She actually didn't survive 3. She was in 3. 2 more than most people were in.
Yeah. So, she survived 2.
Yeah.
But she dies in, I think it's 1615 at the siege of Osaka with her son. They both commit seppuku.
Womp womp.
Yeah. Thus ends the line of Yododono. Although the line of Oryou and Ohatsu live on. Actually, I believe Oryou dies one of her sisters dies not long after her, and the other one around the same time as her, but not as a result of sieges or anything. I think it was just natural, like sickness causes. Maybe it was Oryou who died.
Actually didn't die at the Battle of Osaka. It died shortly afterwards when it was executed. Her grandson survived.
Yeah, her grandson survived, but then was executed.
Yep.
Yeah, that would have been the son of Hideyori and Senhime.
Survived to the ripe old age of 7.
Yeah, and then Senhime becomes a nun, I believe.
Yeah.
A Buddhist nun. So what's interesting about these 3 is that, so when you're looking at the Japanese historical record, the records of their luxury purchases actually provide most known patterns about fashions and fads during this time period, because these 3 women basically controlled Japanese high society. They were the major players. In fact, Oryou, the youngest sister, who basically her line marries into the emperors like several times, she is the first woman of the Edo period to be called Omidai Dokoro, which is like retired wife of the shogun or widow of the shogun, which is a position in court that basically holds all the power while she was alive. She was also awarded junior first rank of imperial junior first rank, which is the second highest honor you can receive in Japanese society. Yododono was also involved in the Battle of Sekigahara, the Sekigahara campaign, which was a really important part of the Sengoku Jidai, but I'm not going to get into the whole part of that here because I feel like that's a little too off topic. to kind of explain all of Sekigahara. And I left my notebook with my Sekigahara campaign maps in another room. Because I do have a notebook with Sekigahara campaign maps from a history class I did a couple semesters back.
Sengoku Jidai was wild, people.
I spent a lot of time on this in class. But yeah, that's kind of the basic story, descendancy of these three sisters, like their mother, their kind of how this all basically controlled the politics of the Sengoku Jidai. Hello, friend. Friend has run. Ooh, there's a friend under my foot too.
Friend has
also run. Friend has run. I have new kittens and they are running
fast enough.
Running wild. Here is one friend. This is Princess Peach. I was at the vet, and normally tabbies are not female. It's really, really rare for tabbies to be female. Come on, jump down, jump down, jump down. You can do it, dumbass. And they were like, well, you could just rename her Prince Peach if it turns out to be a boy. I was like, I don't know, I might just keep Princess Peaches. We're kind of stuck on that now. Anyways. But, okay, so I don't know if you want to add anything about the history. I didn't really talk about Toyotomi Hideyoshi.
I'll jump in for that one a little bit, I guess. Toyotomi Hideyoshi is probably the closest thing Nobunaga had to, like, not a successor to his lineage, but a successor to his,
Yeah, that's right. Hideyoshi was one of the Council of Five that was assigned to Oda Nobunaga's...
Yeah.
The guy who was supposed to be Oda Nobunaga's successor. And he was one of the Council of Five.
He's kind of interesting, because if I remember right, he's a little bit of a... And I'll just switch over to his Wikipedia page. While he might have been nobility, he was kind of a nobody when he came into Nobunaga's retainership.
Yeah, he had like a peasant background.
Yeah. I don't know if it was full peasant or if it was like, no, you're just like... The cousin of the niece of a more important person. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to make that note there. But yeah, no, he was hugely important. And honestly, his death is one of the things that spiraled things out of control of relations between Tokugawa and Toyotomi.
He actually, that's another thing. And he's actually, so one of the hints in the last video for Chacha was that this character was a major part of the Azuchi Momoyama period. And the Azuchi Momoyama period is basically Hideyoshi's power. Like, when Hideyoshi was in power. Like, pre-Edo period, but post the ending of Kamakura? Was it Kamakura directly before this? I think it was.
I don't remember. All I know is that the Sengoku Jidai stretched into the Edo period.
Yeah.
And its ending is kind of what... Although it was a long time before Edo ended... The result of the battle of
Sekigahara
and that last one, that
the siege of Osaka.
Yeah, those were kind of the last bow outs of the Sengoku Jidai that really led to Edo finding its stride and eventually transitioned into the Meiji Restoration.
Yeah, the 200 years as Tokugawa from 16 to 1800 and then Meiji.
Yeah.
Because Meiji is when we see the end of Tokugawa. The power of the shogunate ends with Meiji, right? But the Tokugawa reigned like most powerful from this point in history to the late 1800s, and they maintained a lot of really interesting systems, and they kind of caused the downfall economically of Japan going into the late 1800s to 1900s, which is why Emperor Meiji was restored to power, because they were not the smartest about how they ran the country in some ways. They kept it very, very feudal for too long.
Even Hideyoshi, when he was in power, if I remember right, tried to invade China, if I remember that right.
Yeah, twice.
And failed.
Both times. Because of hurricanes, I think?
I don't know.
Tsunamis. Like, it was one of those two things, I think. But, oh god. That was fucking hilarious. They were like... I was in a history class covering it. My professor was like, then he tried to invade China. And failed. Then a decade later, he tried again.
And failed.
Oh yeah, the one other thing I was going to mention. So I got so into this and I had so much time. There's actually a J-drama based on the lives of the sisters. Focusing on Oryou, but Ohatsu and Yodadon are also main characters. It's called Go Himetachi no Sengoku. It focuses on the Sengoku Jidai. It's actually really good, and I'm currently pirating it off of Kiss Asian.
I love the Sengoku Jidai like this. It's such a fascinating period to look into.
You know, it's so funny because, like, I did study Asian history, like, in quite a bit of detail, but, like, I had so much time, and I was like, let me just open up Chacha's Wikipedia page, I'll go from there, look up some other stuff, and this spiraled. I have just been telling random people about this for the last week. Like, whenever someone asks, so what are you doing recently? I'm just like, let me tell you a story.
That said, I think the back end of the Sengoku Jidai with like Yorodono is kind of fascinating because it's a lot of people know the front end with Nobunaga up till his death by hands of Mitsuhide.
Yep. Yeah, which was partially the fault of Azai Nagamasa.
Yeah.
His sister's ex-husband.
It's fascinating. Well, I guess it's probably good at times I need to start transitioning into the stuff people are here for. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
The fate stuff.
I told our disembodied voice over here that the only thing that would ruin this servant for me is if it's gender bent into a man. I maintain that.
Well,
If this is a man, I am gonna cry.
dun,
Da
okay.
da 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 da.
Chacha.
Is it a cheerleader outfit?
No, not quite.
She's got pom-poms? I mean, I'm not mad. I don't like that middle picture, and I'm glad you're not showing it. Oh, I don't like that.
Let me jump over here.
Is there a reason? Okay.
Why she only has a couple designs?
Yeah.
It's because she's a welfare servant, just like Nobunaga was.
I like her sprite.
Yeah, that gives you a little bit of a better idea of what's going on.
Okay. You want to open the others back up? Okay. Okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. You know what? I actually really like this. So this is a lolly.
Yes.
Or are they portraying her as a younger version of?
It's a younger version of herself. That's why she's Chacha and not Yorodono.
So it's both.
Because Chacha was a name she took in her younger
Yeah.
days. That did kind of carry into her older days.
Yeah, she was
a little
known
bit.
by some as Lady Chacha, but she was
Yeah.
known mostly by Yodogimi or Yododono.
Yeah, by the time she fought in battle.
Okay.
That said, like most servants that are summoned as younger forms, she does have her memories of being older.
Okay.
It's just her mental state and her body are younger.
I have to honestly say, this is the most tasteful young female character that we have seen so far.
I mean, I think our examples so far have been Jack and Abigail Williams.
Well, yeah, but this is so tasteful. I like this. Like, unless she's wearing like a little poofy dress with a long cape in the back, she's got tights on covering everything up. That's definitely a... Oh god, what are they called? Obi. She's wearing an obi with the big decorative bow in the back. And the trailing is obviously supposed to look like a kimono. Like trailing down the side. So I don't know. I really like this design. I think it's really cute. The long hair. And she looks very like... Yeah.
She is
Can I didn't... her April Fool's? I want to see real quick because I kind of flipped through it. Aw, she's so cute. I like her little sword. It's adorable.
lights on fire.
So is she a saber? Because she has a sword?
No.
Oh.
She's a berserker.
Ooh. Sekhie like berserkers.
All right. So, yes, she manifested as a younger form of herself back at around the time she was taken into the Toyotomi clan's care at around the age of 15.
Oh, okay. So this is like post. So this is just post Oda Nobunaga bringing Oichi back into the fold, adopting the three daughters, and then marrying them off.
I believe the explanation, or the speculated explanation in game, is that the reason why she's summoned here, when most of the time a heroic spirit's summoned in their peak performance, is because while it's not her peak as a warrior, because she did fight in the siege of Osaka.
Yes.
But while that's not her peak as a warrior, it was like what she considers the best times of her life was those early days.
When there was still somewhat peace between Toyotomi and Tokugawa, and she and her sisters were actively working to maintain it.
Yeah.
Not when she was being when Tokugawa was sending things telling, bring your son and both bow to Tokugawa and we will let you live, and she was like, fuck that shit. My son ain't bowing to no one. Should have bowed. Sometimes bending the knee. Discretion is the better part of valor sometimes.
Well, then it'll make sense.
But I can respect her sticking to her guns.
It'll make sense in Fate that she's very bubbly but very boastful.
Yeah.
And you mentioned earlier that you could tell the the tastes of people and status based off of the three sisters.
Yeah, because they're records of like the luxury items that they ordered, used, and wore. We have copies of all three of them, and they were the three leading women in society.
Well, in Fate, it does actively recognize that she has very luxurious, aka expensive tastes.
Of course, only the best.
It apparently was a bit of an annoyance to Hideyoshi himself. But Fate says he never found it in him to hate her for it, because her happiness was so infectious.
Aw, that's adorable.
And her surviving those three sieges ends up being, or not surviving two of them and dying in one, is very important coming up. What you looking at?
Gura Gura Meiji Restoration.
Yes.
That makes me unhappy and anticipatory.
Gura Gura is a yearly thing.
You know what? You keep saying that, and I always forget. Yeah, because last month's theming was Gura Gura servants, including Chacha, or this month.
Or this month's theming is Gura Gura, which
it was...
we did not intend to time, but the way that NA has moved the schedule up, I'm pretty sure this will be coming out. Like, this series of 3 Gura Gura servants will be coming out exactly when the new Gura Gura event comes out.
Yeah, because Chacha has been on the schedule to be here for like several months. It was not planned
and
that she would be
added
coming
Himiko
out.
at your insistence because you wanted to throw her in the schedule to see her.
Yeah.
Which happened to time up with around the time I'm predicting the event will be launching.
Speaking of, you know what Yoda Dono also is?
Hmm.
Part 3 in our ongoing saga of women in history who were vilified by their own country's histories, because in several histories of Japan, Yoda Dono, for her actions in supporting her son and not bowing to the Tokugawa regime, right? She is called like a seductive and evil woman for it, like in certain histories, like following Wu Zetian and Bathory. This is like the third in our trilogy of like women in power who fought for what they wanted or what they believed was right, and are then vilified by history even though they may have had good things going.
So it's getting ahead of ourselves, but there's a skill that's applied to people with that kind of trait. Do you remember what it's called?
We just did Wu Zetian, didn't we?
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of the skill. Fuck.
That's fine. But I figured you'd find that you do remember that, though, that there is a specific skill to vilify people who are perhaps incorrectly vilified.
Yeah, I definitely remember the skill. Like, I remember that there was a skill, but I don't remember the name of it. Mostly because I don't have these characters in campaign yet.
True.
I don't have Ellie-chan.
Well, someone
does.
has. That's right.
Vorn has Ellie-chan, and he doesn't use her. Well, I do have.
Vlad?
No, the other one, the woman. We
Carmilla?
did her. Yeah, I have Carmilla. I do have Vlad, but I also have Carmilla.
I think they both have that skill, if I remember my skills correctly.
Well, then I just don't use Carmilla.
Actually, Carmilla might not. But either way, yeah, no. Actually, that sort of legacy that people remember her by causes her entire body to be cursed.
Oh.
Because of, well, she, in popular mentality, brought down the Toyotomi clan with her... I have a foot warmer. Popular mentality states that she brought down the Toyotomi clan, whether or not that was alone true.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Like, obviously she wasn't alone in fighting for the...
No.
It's not like she was walking out there with a sword on her own.
It was a chaotic period, and there was a lot of people vying for power.
Exactly, and Toyotomi had a good claim to power. It's just Tokugawa had ultimately a better one.
I don't know if better is correct in any term except for maybe the strength.
Yeah, stronger.
Yeah.
Stronger is a better... When I said better, I didn't mean necessarily
so I'm pretty sure
better.
Tokugawa took power right after Hideyoshi.
Yeah.
And the Tokugawa actively, like, if I remember right...
Visitor number 2, this is Loki. He's a little boy.
It's been a while since I've looked at that just post-Toyotomi, like, thing, but I'm pretty sure the Tokugawa actively, like, because they found out how young the current heir would have been, they basically are like, nope, we're taking power here, because Hideyoshi died so soon, and we are the next in line after Nobunaga.
Yeah, and they kind of did that over Nobunaga's heir, too. They were just like, this person's too young, we're going to take all the power, and then we're going to fight about it, and 3 of them got discarded, and then it was just Toyotomi and Tokugawa fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Well,
Tokugawa maintained power for a long time, but there were many reasons for why they maintained power so strongly. And we're going to get to some of those reasons when we cover on some servants next year. Because I've got a whole nother lecture next year about Japanese history. And this is like 2 in a row with Himiko. And now this, like, I feel like full-ass lectures on fucking Asian history.
I mean, you went into Nagao knowing the twist.
I did, because I did my reason. I rest on my laurels too much. I know people in the comments are usually nice about it, and honestly, I do appreciate being corrected if I actually do say something, like, completely wrong or completely off, because, you know, there have been a few videos where I've a little bit relied on what I know and not, like, spent that extra couple minutes to go look it up and study a little bit. So I'm trying to be better about that and, like, actually go in, look it up, make sure what I know is correct, and then say it.
So that skill I referenced earlier is Innocent Monster.
Yep. I remember now.
Yeah. That's the curse, I believe. Yeah. One thing that is noteworthy is she does know how to fight. It's just because Battle of Osaka, she did fight.
You sure the consort of the sun isn't the curse?
It might be the curse here.
That's the curse.
Yeah, that's the curse. Sorry, the Innocent Monster, that's...
Hey, you too. No. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. So the curse is consort of the sun. The Innocent Monster is the skill that's applied because of it. I believe it does tie together.
I do want to say the madness enhancement and the reason for it actually is super on brand with her story, considering that, like, her son is the reason she went to bat against the Tokugawa, like, until the end, and then they committed seppuku together. Seppuku. Yeah.
Mad women indeed.
He must have been Mama's boy.
Well, thing is, although she knows how to fight, she's summoned into her younger body that was living the life of luxury. Her body does not remember how to fight. So she is, in battle, constantly tripping over herself. And, as you probably would. In fact, I don't know if we'll see it today because it's such a rare trigger. In-game, there's actually a skill where she's like getting all boastful, getting ready to do something, and she just falls on her ass.
Amazing. So, question, because I know you're going to cover Phantasm next, right?
Yes.
So, I see the name of it, Dazzling Castle of the Sun in the Demonic Realm. I would like to know if that is a... Oh my god, you two! Stick a hand in between them. Okay. I would like to know if that is a reference to the fact that when she knew she was pregnant, Hideyoshi had one of the other Toyotomis fix up and renovate an entire castle for her. I think it might have been Osaka, but I'm not sure. It's in the Wikipedia page. But when it was found that she was pregnant, they renovated an entire castle and gave it to her as a gift.
I'm pretty sure, that was... I think it is definitely in reference to Osaka Castle.
Okay. Because I think it's Osaka, because that's where she would have retreated. The castle that was hers is where she would have retreated.
I believe it actively was nicknamed something like Palace of the Suns or Castle of the Sun or something like that. I had a nickname of it. I remember looking it up when doing some research for stuff.
I was going to say, just check it over in the Wikipedia, because now it'll be in the Yododono Wikipedia. Go down a little... There. Up slightly. Let's see. There it is. Fucking... Fushimi. And then Osaka. You want to click into both of them? Down here. Here. Fushimi and Osaka.
Okay, so
click into both of them, because one of them will have the nickname, I'm sure. So this is... Okay, so this is just... Okay, check Osaka. It's just down the page from Fushimi. To the side. There you go.
Osaka. by Sekhie.
Okay, I guess I don't see a nickname in particular.
Yeah.
No, but it's one of these two. It's a reference to either Fushimi Castle or Osaka Castle, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I was just curious, because I knew it had happened.
So, yeah. And then one other thing here. That luxurious taste has granted her a special version of the skill Golden Rule, a skill Gilgamesh has.
Yes!
But this is more like... She wants all, so she's gonna buy it with the Tokugawa, or not or with Japan's funds.
Guess who else has Golden Rule? Who did I use in our last session?
Your last session wasn't a coup again.
Nope, it was a man though.
It was a man. God, I'm blanking on this one. So the last session was... You didn't use Kentucky. You used... Realm used, You both used,
5-star.
Yeah. Well, it might not be 5-star in FGO, so it's not helpful for audience, but for me at least... Shoot. Oh! Siegfried.
I used Siegfried. He also has Golden Rule.
That's because he found that treasure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Chacha has her own version of Golden Rule, which is just spending the gold of governors.
I can get behind that.
So, yeah.
I can spend money that's not mine.
So, alright. Dazzling Castle of the Sun in the demonic realm. She brings forth the Burning Gown Castle of Osaka, her final death place, and she uses it to summon revenants of the Toyotomi clan to lash out at enemies as fire strikes at them.
Hell yeah.
So let me see. We'll cover the video here with you and see if you want to catch anything here.
Let's see. Radiant Demon Fortresses. Okay. Once the symbol of the child of... So, yeah, the thought that Hideyoshi's son was like the guarantee of power continuing. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. And we'll go ahead and move over here now. I have something, because I do want to show you a few of the animations here.
No, go back to the last page. Hang on. There, look. It says, it shows in the English what she says. Down there.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, because so somebody in one of our recent videos commented that I should see sometimes like what the romanization is for what the characters say in Japanese.
The advice was to use the official Aniplex uploads of the NPs, but not all of them have them. Like Chacha here didn't have it when I looked.
Yeah, so I do like that. Come on, Toyotomi Bones. It's just a very, very necromancy. I love it.
All right, so
Me, who plays a necromancer in campaign.
just let you see some of the personality here.
Cute pose. Fucking adorable.
See if I can't catch anything funny. There it is!
Aww. I just want to like pick her up and dust her off.
And those are her skill animations.
Aww.
I'm glad I found that one.
Aww. That's adorable. Ooh. Oh, that's hella cool. Ooh. Now she's wearing a fucking samurai mask just dropped down. Like the... What are they called? Like those masks have a name?
Oh, they're for, the Kabuki masks? I don't know if that one's Kabuki.
No, because those are the ones that go with, like, the samurai armor. There's a name for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's with the samurai. But, yeah, one of those dropped down, like a red one. That's hella cool. So, probably because she's now representing, like, all of Toyotomi. And
yeah.
Toyotomi was a samurai.
So, last thing we'll cover here before we go into the CEs is we're going to briefly cover Hideyoshi because he does have stuff in Fate, actually. It's just he's not an FGO because he hasn't been introduced in a Guda Guda event or anything like that.
And we talked about Nobunaga last year.
Yeah.
In November.
Sometime last year. It was one of our earlier videos.
Yeah, and Nobukatsu we talked about.
Yeah.
And at the time, I think I asked if Ieyasu and Hideyoshi had servants because I was like...
We have more on Ieyasu, or not Ieyasu, Hideyoshi and Ieyasu.
Okay.
A little bit on Ieyasu. Some fun stuff that if we ever get around to doing an Ieyasu video will be really cool. But
it's a good thing I already know the design of Nitocris.
Just ignore this bottom part here.
I mean, I haven't really been looking, but I do already know Nitocris because Nitocris is packaged with Ozzy, and I've seen the figure a few times packaged together. So.
All right, so on to Hideyoshi.
Okay.
Meet Hideyoshi.
Well, I don't know if this is intentional, but why does it fucking look like some sort of like Monkey King reference?
So it probably is because Nobunaga constantly calls him Monkey.
Oh, okay. No, because it just looks very, like, I don't know. I mean, I like it. I think it's fun. It's a little very random.
It's different. It's a different style because he is not...
a servant yet? Like,
he's not an FGO. He was in a gag comic originally. Or he was in a gag material.
Ace.
Yeah, Koha Ace where Nobunaga comes from. But the reason why he has a more complex design is because of Chibichuki. Which is another little spin-off gag thing, I believe.
We haven't seen that yet, then.
It's not something you'll see as much as Koha Ace.
Okay.
There's another little like here.
Oh.
But he did cameo in something a little bit more traditionally Fate recently, which is type Redline. He and Nagao Kagetora had a little like this isn't actually part of the story, but they show when explaining the Holy Grail War, they show Nagao Kagetora and him fighting.
That's actually hella cool. I like it. I like it a lot. You know what? I feel like it actually does fit him because he's kind of wearing like more. Like if it's showing him young, right? Then it is showing him like more from the peasant background with the smaller sword and the clothing not as rich and.
I can't wait to get into his abilities here then.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Also, I love Nagao Kagetora. Speaking of, we did the fucking the hint to when we're filming these, but the Nagao Kagetora video just came out, and one of our commenters posted about how the tiger is in the background, and that was a great hint.
Oh shit! I had another servant I was going to show you today. I completely forgot about.
Hold on, and that tiger was entirely unintentional. Tigger does just live in this room now, and you will see Tigger in other videos. So that was not a hint, but it worked out. Who was the other servant you were going to show me?
Let's do Hideyoshi first, and then I'll jump back over to him.
Okay.
So, Hideyoshi here... Actually, I don't... Did they ever give him a class in Fate? I don't know if they gave him...
Okay.
Sekhie.
Now we can go back to...
He was summoned into the Saber class. I have listed here as from Koha Ace, but he's not, and I realized that just before this recording.
Okay. Well, yeah, from the sword I could have guessed Saber.
His big thing, and I don't want to go too into detail for him, partially because I don't know as much detail about him, and we'll get more into him if he ever comes out in FGO. We'll do some more. I'm still undoubtedly have more on him. Mm-hmm. But, so outside of the fact that he's called a monkey, the other big defining feature in Fate is that his stats and abilities actually grow stronger the longer it's been since he's summoned, over about a week or a 2-week period.
Interesting.
This is supposed to replicate sort of his rise to power from nothingness. Mm-hmm. He starts out pretty weak, but then there's a point where he's just... I've looked at the stats of his servant at its peak, and he is actively, stat-wise, one of the strongest servants at his peak.
Oh, shit. Good for him.
But eventually, once he hits that
Max?
peak, he starts regressing. Until eventually...
What's this fucking parabola you're telling me about?
Eventually, he degrades so much that he just becomes a useless old man.
That is a fucking bell curve of power level.
Yeah, like... It's kind of shonen up to a certain point. Then it just gets depressing.
Aww. Aww.
This is his noble phantasm called Child of the Sun.
Oh, okay. Yo, we saw the reference to that in the Osaka Castle one.
Yeah. His other NPs are he has a sword that grows in power with him, and a castle which comes continuously bigger and stronger, eventually reaching the state of being a reality marble.
Oh, cool. Like Alexander,
Yeah.
who I have not seen yet, other than an anime.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Hideyoshi.
So who else did you need to cover that you didn't?
I'm gonna tell you to put something here, so please turn around and you'll just cut something in that I tell you to. This will be a. We'll be right back, folks. Okay. So you can go ahead and turn around now.
Okay.
The servant I forgot to bring up was we have a servant for Chacha's adopted father.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is the person that Oichi remarried after Oda Nobunaga brought her back. Yeah, so I talked about... I mentioned this person briefly. I said that she remarried. But yeah, this was another retainer of the Oda clan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He died in that second siege that Yorodono did survive. He and Oichi. It's been a while since I've looked into that person. He and her did die in that second one.
And at that point, she basically sent her daughters to live under.
Yeah,
you know,
the Toyotomi.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll go ahead and move right into his servant design.
Oh shit! Cool old grandpa. Oh, that's awesome. You know who he reminds me of, and who he might once I mention it to you? Remember Fairy Tale, the Celestial Spirit King?
No.
The big spirit guy during Lucy and Loki's arc?
I know who you're talking
Stash
about
face.
now. I don't remember his design at all.
Oh, he kind of looks like this a little bit. Stash Face looks like this. I mean, Stash Face really looks like this a little bit. He reminds me of Stash Face.
Of course, here's the tragic thing about this. Like, he has this full fleshed out design. It looks awesome. Not in game. He's not playable. He even has a sprite in game, and they never made him playable like 3 or 4 years later.
Aww. Can I see his sprite?
If I could find it.
Oh, I don't think it's there. Yeah. I think you'd have to look him up on the other one. Oh, there it is, the first one. It's the first one.
Yeah, here he is.
Yeah, it does look like Stash Face.
Looks freaking awesome, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you know what it reminds me of a little bit? Japanese version of Ivan the Thunder Emperor. Big and powerful and, you know.
I'm just going to open this page, because he does have a Grand Order wiki page.
Yeah.
It's just...
Yeah, no. Hella cool. I like him.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. Cool grandpa. Stash Face.
Do we actually have skills on this?
I don't think so.
Well, we have Noble Phantasm.
Yeah.
Double...
Garigane. Unwavering was it?
So yeah, we don't have a lot of lore on these, because
Yeah.
again, he's not playable, not a lot of material on him. But yeah.
Cool.
Cool little extra design here. Just a few things on him, I guess. So, in Fate...
Aw, he's also a berserker, just like his adopted daughter.
So yeah, he's summoned a berserker who's mad at many things. For one, his own cowardice that led to his and his wife's fall.
Okay.
His original assistance in Nobukatsu's revolt against Nobunaga.
Oof. And
Toyotomi Hideyoshi for not being as reliable as he once believed, running the Oda clan into the ground.
Oof.
As a berserker, he's pretty simple-minded, but he can retain some conversation. And one trait he retains as a berserker is trying his hardest to be a good stepdad to Chacha.
First of all, second of all, I agree. Destroy all Nobunaga's. Guruguga Final Honanji 2019.
We've done the Nobunaga video already, so I can go ahead and tell you. That entire event's name is a reference to Godzilla Final Wars, in which all the Godzilla, like a bunch of Godzilla variants, go and fight each other on screen. Imagine what that event is.
I hate the fucking Nobu. Fuck that shit.
Nobu.
Fuck that shit. Nobu. No, Nobu.
Eventually, I'm sure we'll have to do an update video with Nobu in it, and I'll include more good Gouda lore in there. Since Nobu was one of our earlier videos. But yeah, he does have a few abilities that are fleshed out here, even though he's not a full servant. We know his design and the effect of his Noble Phantasm, although I think it gave it a name in here that I didn't see when I was doing research earlier. Oh, that's Hideyoshi. It did give it a name here. Okay, Stone Lantern Slap. Oh, that's his attack that's used as a Noble Phantasm. That's not actually his Noble Phantasm, it's just a big attack.
Okay.
His Noble Phantasm, as far as we know, goes unnamed, but eventually it creates a spot where, if he is close to it, he is nigh invulnerable and can wave off most damage and just simply heal it.
Cool.
But this slows down, like his healing and his defenses really slow and weaken the farther he moves away from it, until eventually he hits a point where he moves so far away from it, he's just like spiritually warped back. So yeah, that's Shibata Katsuye.
No, that's hella cool. Alright, so I think you've got some card arts for me now.
Yep.
Do you have any card arts for Hideyoshi or Katsuye?
Hideyoshi, no, because Hideyoshi hasn't had any representation in Grand Order yet. Katsuye, I actually did see. Let's go ahead and click through here.
The icon.
Right. Oh, there's
yeah,
this.
We could have seen it.
Well,
there.
yeah, that's how we found this page.
Yeah.
Expression sheets and then others. So just that is an illustration there, though.
Cool though. Yeah.
It's a Chacha. I remain mostly blind on these arts.
Speaking of, to anyone who doesn't necessarily read through the comments, we are aware that summer has passed, introducing new forms of many people we've covered, and we are doing a big update video at the early next year, covering everything we missed and anything that we didn't cover originally, including like card arts for the early videos and NPs for the early videos, and it is giving our unnamed voice a
migraine.
It's big. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, look, she's got those little collectible figure games.
Oh yeah, from the Fate Grand Order Duel. I've been trying to get a hold of some of those. There's an Aussie one that I want.
I just found out today.
It's also the only Ket's figure that's so far been created is one of those.
I found out the rule. I kind of found out the rules of this game recently, not in full, but because this game was eventually made into an actual, like, they actually made a kind of playable version in FGO. There's also some cool little alternate arts here from I believe her artist.
That's cute. Aww. Aww. Oh, they're like the kitty leggings. Aww.
So the craft essences.
Ooh, there's a lot. Go ahead and open them all.
I'm gonna close some stuff up here then.
Yeah, you can.
I'll close everything except for the main Chacha page. I'll keep Wikipedia open as well. Open a new tab. 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 Open a new window. No tab. Last one.
Hey, did you know that if you just click the scroll wheel on top of the photo, it would open it for you? Sorry, that's from commenter. Wait, hold on. Wait, I'm gonna go back for a second. Okay. Oh, Adzuki beanbag.
This is her Bond CD.
Okay. Chacha is going to take this. The prettiest one. I shall take this one. This one, in a distant past. An ordinary moment that was spent with everyone, with everything going up in flames. She realizes something. That was a truly an irreplaceable moment. This is the tale of the three sisters who are at the mercy of the chaos of times, whose lives burned briefly but brightly. God damn! Ha! That's like a knife to the heart! What the fuck? Oh my god, I love it! God damn. You know, sometimes Fate is like on top of it. You know what I mean? Like the one about the library with Ivan. Like this shit is nice. That's a pretty picture. I like the big castle behind it.
Castle of the Sun.
Okay, nice. A beautiful spring day. Luxurious and gorgeous. Decadent and glorious. Nice. No, it's a pretty castle. Very brightly colored. I like how the castle matches to her colors.
Just
okay.
a bunch of Gouda Gouda
I
swords.
was
There
gonna
she
say-
is in her Gouda Gouda artwork. Or
Isn't
her
that
Code Ace
Nobu
artwork.
behind her?
Yeah, and these are two people.
Oh, she's got the same gold spike sun thing that Nobu has. Is that Okita Soji down in the front?
Yeah, you've seen...
Okay.
You knew about her a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
And
I
you
don't
don't
know
know
who
him yet.
Yeah, I don't know who the man is.
Don't read this yet.
During the age of the Bakumatsu, where the winds of change are blowing, warriors loyal to their cause assemble. Twist your head about and you might hear the sounds of civilization and enlightenment approaching. Yeah, so this references the Meiji Restoration, because the event was Gouda Gouda Meiji Restoration.
Yep.
For this one. Yeah.
That was actually her, like, big spotlight event, too.
Man, that's hella cool, with the Bakumatsu and the Meiji. I like how, like, not only with this character did we get, like, a shit ton of, like, Sengoku Jidai shit, but she also has to do with a bunch of Meiji Bakumatsu stuff, so we can also talk about Meiji Bakumatsu, because they are, like, the two most important periods in Japanese history.
Another little EXP craft essence here. Same exact characters,
Same characters,
too.
yeah. It's the age where both the warring states, where local rivalries between warlords dominate the times, and the Enlightenment and Restoration are happening at the same time. The global Atsumori Corporation from Owari, the Oda Baku... It's accepting anyone, rich or poor, to their team as long as they have a tribute score of 7.
So that's a reference to the event.
Yeah, no. This is the age of the Shinsengumi. Speaking of, Shinsengumi fam, coming to a channel near you.
Eventually.
It's gonna be a little
Not
bit.
soon enough for Okita fans, I'm sure.
Yeah, not soon enough, but it is on the schedule. Aw, Valentine's chocolates from Chacha, who is at the height of her greatness. Sweets. Ooh, I love red bean soup, honestly. Wonderfully sweet and satisfying, as well as her favorite. Aw, since Chacha wants to eat it with you. That's adorable. I actually really do like red. I'm a bigger fan of like red bean desserts than I am of chocolate ones most of the time. So I actually appreciate that. Like, that sounds delicious. Rivalry of local warlords.
Oh, there's Katsuye and...
Yep, and Nobu.
You know everyone here.
Yeah. Is it Okita on the side?
Yep.
To the left? Oh, nice.
Really good art.
Yeah, no, this is beautiful. It's almost elemental, and I like that.
Is this the 5-star CE? Probably the 5 stars. Yeah.
Let's see.
That's why I don't have it.
Oh, the warring states in all its gory glory. Who will unify this nation and control the phenomena that recreates the land of the rising sun? Will it be the wolves of Mibu, the demon king, or even the princess of war? This unique snapshot of the turbulent warring times begins now. That's really cool. Especially because, like, the Sengoku Jidai was the warring states here.
It's
Like,
a goddamn phone wallpaper right there.
yeah, hell yeah.
Make that my lock screen.
You could. Blazing adversity. I don't know the main guy in this, so I don't think this is about Chacha.
Oh, there's Chacha on the back there if you're looking.
Yeah, but she's not a main character, so maybe check to see if this is someone else's CE. My eyes are closed.
Okay, you don't know 3 people in this. Let me read the description here.
Yeah.
Description's not spoilery, but it's nothing that we can't review when we hit the other characters.
Okay. That makes sense.
I'll go ahead and... You can look at the art here if you want.
Yeah,
but
no, it's really pretty, but I don't know
Yeah.
who that character is. I don't know who a lot of those characters are.
This is actually very recent. Like, this was just last year's.
Nice.
Okay. I'll go ahead and close these out. So, yeah, that was Chacha. A.K.A. Orotono.
Yeah. No, I really like this. You know, we've had a string of, like, really strong servants from me lately. I said this last video, too, but, like, it's been a while since we hit a servant that I, like, genuinely was like, or did not enjoy. Like, who was the last servant that I didn't enjoy?
Do you want me to actually look down our list?
Yeah, I feel like you should, because, like, this has been a hell of a list. I feel like the last servant I remember not enjoying was Altera. And that was just because...
I picked it because it was specifically the one I knew would, like, mindfuck you the most.
It's not that Altera's a bad servant. It's
just what the fuck did you do to Attila the Hun?
Exactly. Like, you told me Attila the Hun, and then you didn't give me Attila the Hun.
Let's see. I think Katsuja, Preza King. You did like Preza King and Tesla. there's Bunyan, Ivan, Helena. It would be Attila the Hun back in May, unless you didn't care for like Bunyan or Preziking.
No, I liked Preziking. I wasn't as big a fan of Tesla's initial design, but I did like his later design.
Yeah. I think you liked him more when you actually saw the sprite.
Yeah, and I liked Bunyan. Well, Bunyan was cute.
Yeah.
Kind of ridiculous. It was adorable. But yeah, I guess Altera was like really our last like low point in servants. I really liked like Wu and Himiko and Nagao. Like our last Rasher and Abigail have been fantastic. And it's interesting because like some of these I chose and some of these I didn't. So like I'm just really enjoying the servants. You know? It's so funny. I mean, like to the point where I'm like looking up figures to see if like servants we've covered have figures, you know?
And it's helpful when one of the figures is included in the Fate Grand Order Wiki.
Yeah.
Even if it is the little battle figure.
Yeah, well, the battle figures are hard to get a hold of though because they're blind packs.
Yeah, because they're meant to be more like trading cards and trading figures, which aren't as big here. But I've heard the game is really fun. I've played the Grand Order version, so it's apparently and it's fun. Yeah,
you can get them like unwrapped and identified on eBay, but it's pretty expensive.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of looking at them and I'm like, well, it's like, you know, like $15 or $20 per blind box, but then, you know, it's like $80 for a Kets on fucking eBay.
I should look up the rules and look up what all the pieces do. I feel like I could recreate that if I did without having the official figures.
Yeah, but no, I really like Chacha. I think Chacha's fun. It's a cute little girl. Lots of history in it, you know. Lots of history that, you know, I've actually studied and looked into in both classes and on my own. It was very fun. I'm going to go see if there's any, like, published books about the sisters, to be honest. And I'm going to finish that drama. It's really good so far. Go Himetachi no Sengoku. It's really good. It's really long, though. It's like 46 episodes that are, like, 45 to 70 minutes long. It is long as most Asian period dramas are. But I'm very much enjoying it. Who's our next servant?
I guess I can give a quick verbal.
Who's our next servant?
This servant's first, or this, I don't want to say this servant. The next one we're doing is not traditional, and their first mention was actually not in Fate, but in a Tsukuhime related work.
It's also a throwback to an earlier theme from this year. I'm excited. It's also the first of our Halloween servants, so look forward to that. A whole month of weekly Halloween-related servants.
Monsters.
Or, you know, historical figures associated with, like, scary shit, or ones who have been turned into Halloween-related figures. You know, we did it last year, too, with, you know, Jack the Ripper and Jekyll and Hyde.
I guess we'll see everyone next time.
Yep. Like, comment, subscribe.